This is the Week 14 Fantasy Football preview of the Jacksonville Jaguars at Tennessee Titans. Brought to you by Fantasy Football Time. Follow us at Fantasy FB Time on all social media platforms. Welcome to Week 14, Jags and Titans fans. Actually, this will be a pretty good matchup, but let's look at how we got here. Last week, Jaguars narrowly losing against Houston. Trevor Lawrence in his last game for the year. We'll get into that in a little bit. 0.24, so hopefully he was not on your active roster because he got clocked in a Bush League way. Mac Jones steps in for relief, doing a great job, all things considered, coming in cold. 22 fantasy points, 235, 2 touchdowns, no interception, and gets that 2-point conversion. That elevates the whole squad. Brian Thomas gets 17 fantasy points with 4 catches and a score. Evan Engram gets 8 points on 7 catches. Travis Etienne has an okay day, gets his forecast basically. Tank Bigsby, not so much. Parker Washington shows up out of nowhere. 4-point projection, 21-point performance, 6 catches, 103-1. Now, I don't have him ranked in this week's forecast, but sometimes these new quarterbacks they'll find a go-to person and they'll glom onto them. But we'll see how it shakes out. Regardless, Tennessee getting crushed at Washington. Levis gets his projection, but you probably didn't play him. Pollard, you did play. A little disappointing with that fumble there. Calvin Ridley, only 6 points on 2 catches. Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, he is getting disrespected in the forecasting standpoint, but gets 20 again. 3 catches, 2 touchdowns. I think he's had like a touchdown a game the last couple weeks. It's been crazy. Anyway, Tennessee is the favorite with a lowish over-under. Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence done for the year. He's getting shoulder surgery done. He probably was already dinged up from that. There's not much to play for at this point. So Mac Jones, come on down. Now, you're not going to play Mac Jones unless you do think he's going to get another 20. If he's going to, it's going to be against the Titans. Brian Thomas, 10. Engram, 8. Etienne, 9. I think that's pretty good. I know there's been the Bigsby Etienne question mark. If you want to play Bigsby, I won't cry about it, just because it's all very touchdown potential. But look at that. Don't forget the over-under, people. It's not going to be a big scoring game. Titans defense gets crushed by the Commanders, holds Houston down, holds the Vikings down. So again, if they can show up like these other games, Titans are going to hold down Jacksonville, but they do have weapons. 8 sacks, so they can get to the quarterback. 4 turnovers. So let's give Jacksonville 2 touchdowns. I like Mac Jones getting both of those. Tennessee Titans, Will Levis, Calvin Ridley, Pollard, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine I put in there, even though it's a disrespectful 6 points. He's been on fire, so I know this is a tough week for a lot of buys. If he is there, he certainly is an option if there's no other available, but he's a sneaky good pick if you ask me. Jaguars defense allowed 23 against the Texans, 54 against Detroit. Did hold the Vikings to 12, but again, I think that's more of a Vikings problem than anything. They're making a lot of defenses look good. Anywho, 3 sacks, 3 picks versus Minnesota. No fumbles, not a great performance if you back out the Minnesota game. So I think we're going to see 3 touchdowns from the Titans this week. Let's give 2 to Levis, 1 to Pollard, and 1 to Ridley, and 1 to Westbrook. Thanks so much for watching. Follow and subscribe at Fantasy FB Time. Welcome to Week 14. God bless.